woman from Victrola unlocks doors. The texts started sweet. Morning coffee photos with funny observations about other customers. Afternoon complaints about impossible clients. Evening questions about his day that felt like someone actually caring about the answer. Marcus found himself reaching for his phone between client calls during lunch, in that hollow hour after the kids went back to Sarah's. 3 weeks of seeing each other, and already Serena had become a rhythm in his day. "Dad, your phone." Lily looked up from her homework. Wednesday nights, his apartment, their new tradition of tacos and math homework. "Sorry, Bug." He silenced it. "Is that your girlfriend?" Ben asked through a mouthful of taco. "She's a friend." "Mum says you have a girlfriend." Ben's tone was carefully neutral, the voice of a 10-year-old trying to navigate divided loyalties. "Mum doesn't know everything about my life anymore." Lily exchanged a look with her brother, something passing between them in that secret language of siblings. His phone lit up again. Just a photo this time, a newspaper headline from 1973 about an oil crisis. Her collection had become their running joke, her way of saying goodnight without saying it. They'd been dating a month when she surprised him at lunch. He was deep in a security audit, trying to track a vulnerability that kept slipping away when she appeared in his office doorway with Vietnamese takeout. "Thought you might forget to eat," she said, holding up the bags. "You mentioned you do that when you're deep in code." The pho was from the place in the international district he'd talked about. Perfect proportions, extra lime, light basil, side of jalapenos. She'd remembered his exact order from one conversation. "This is really thoughtful," he said, meaning it. Sarah had never surprised him at work. Too busy, too practical, too something. "Nancy at reception is sweet," Serena said, unpacking containers. "She recognized your description immediately. Said you're the quiet one who always holds the door." They ate while he explained the security breach he was tracking, and she asked questions that showed she was actually listening. When she left, she kissed him goodbye, quick, professional, but her hand lingered on his shoulder. "Back to your digital detective work," she said. "Catch the bad guys." It was only later, driving home, that he wondered how she'd known which building, which floor. LinkedIn, probably. Everything was findable now. The first odd moment came so naturally he almost missed it. They were at her apartment or the place she was subletting. She'd been vague about the details. Somewhere in Capitol Hill, walking distance from Victrola. The heat was overwhelming. Space heaters in every room despite the mild April weather. "I'm basically cold-blooded," she said, catching him adjusting the thermostat. "Sorry. I should have warned you." They were cooking together, her showing him how to make tom kha gai from scratch. She knew her way around the kitchen despite claiming she'd just moved in. "Pass me the star anise," she said, then caught herself. "I mean, do you know what star anise looks like? The star-shaped things?" He found them in a jar that looked older than their relationship. "My mom used to put them in everything," she said, then laughed. "Polish cooking by way of Saigon. Weird fusion." Marcus froze. "Your mom was Polish. Did I not mention that?" "Ha! Funny coincidence. Both our moms, right?" He told her about his mother once briefly, the Vietnamese neighbor who taught her to cook, but he hadn't said Polish. Had he? "Is your mum still around?" Serena asked, stirring the soup. "She died 5 years ago." "I'm sorry. That soup she made, you mentioned it, sounded amazing. Chicken with ginger and star anise, something like that." The soup she was making now smelled exactly like his mother's, but lots of Vietnamese soups had similar ingredients. It wasn't strange. It wasn't. 2 weeks later, Sarah called during Friday pickup. "Quick question," she said, her voice carefully neutral. "Did you give someone permission to contact the school?" Marcus loaded Ben's soccer bag into the car. "What?" "No. Why?" "Someone called the district office. Some confusion about emergency contact forms. They knew enough details that the office almost gave out information, but something felt off to the secretary. What kind of details? Kids' full names, teachers, our address. My maiden name, which I haven't used in 12 years. It's probably nothing. Maybe a scam or something. The kids climbed into the back seat, already arguing about music. I'll look into it, Marcus said. Don't worry about it. I handled it. Just wanted to check it wasn't some insurance thing from your side. That weekend with the kids was normal. Soccer games, homework, Mario Kart tournaments. Serena texted but not excessively funny observations. A photo of a newspaper about the 62 World's Fair, normal girlfriend things. She asked about the kids but didn't push to meet them. Soon, Marcus had said. When everyone's ready. No rush, she'd replied. I know how important timing is with these things. It was Lily who mentioned it first, casual as breathing. That lady was at our school, she said, looking up from her constellation project. Marcus's hand stilled on the glue stick. What lady? The one with the gloves. From the coffee shop that time he had to take us with you. He remembered an early morning, Sarah's emergency, the kids eating muffins at Victrola while he grabbed his laptop charger. Serena had been there, had waved, said his kids were beautiful. When was she at your school? I don't know. Last week, she was outside during recess. She waved when she saw me. Did she say anything? No, she was across the street. Just walking by, I guess. Green Lake Elementary wasn't really on the way to anywhere. But people walk dogs there, use the track. It could be coincidence. Hey, Dad, Ben called from the couch. Can I get Instagram? Everyone has it. You're 10. Exactly. I'm the only one without it. Talk to your mum. But later, scrolling his own phone, Marcus found himself checking Instagram. There was Ben Goalkeeper Benny private account, 200 followers. Recent post from yesterday. His 10-year-old had Instagram. The followers were mostly kids' names he recognized, some parents. And there, near the bottom, Serena's account. Following since 3 weeks ago. She'd never mentioned it. I should have told you, Serena said when he brought it up. They were at her place again, or was it a different place? The furniture was different, but maybe she'd rearranged. Ben accepted my request. I figured he'd tell you. I just wanted to see the soccer videos you're always talking about. He's 10. I know, you're right, I'll unfollow him. She pulled out her phone, unfollowed immediately. I'm sorry. I didn't think about how it would look. She seemed genuinely remorseful, and hadn't he looked up Sarah's CrossFit coach online? Checked his Facebook, his gym's Instagram. Everyone did light stalking now. It was normal. I saw Lily at school last week, Serena added like confession. I was walking. There's a good coffee shop near there, and saw the kids at recess. She's got your eyes. You were just walking by? Marcus. She set down her wine. Are you accusing me of something? No, I'm trying so hard to do this right. To respect your boundaries with your kids, to not push too fast. But sometimes it feels like you're looking for reasons to push me away. I'm not. You are. Every time we get closer, you find something wrong. I followed your son on Instagram wrong. I walked past your kids' school wrong. What's next? I breathe wrong. She was crying now, real tears that made her mascara run. My ex did this, she said. Constantly suspicious, constantly questioning everything. Made me feel like loving him was some kind of crime. Serena, I know I'm intense. I know I feel things too much. But isn't that better than not feeling enough? He held her while she cried, her body cold even through her sweater. She was right, wasn't she? He was looking for problems, seeing shadows where there was only a woman trying to love him well. The next Saturday, she made breakfast at his place. He hadn't given her a key, had he? But she'd arrived early with groceries while he was in the shower. Door was unlocked, she said, kissing his damp hair. You really should be more careful. The breakfast was elaborate eggs. Benedict, fresh fruit, coffee made in a French press he didn't own. Where did this come from? He held up the press. I brought it. Your coffee maker is terrible. She was wearing one of his shirts the University of Washington won from his bottom drawer. When had she changed? I need to take the kids to soccer soon. I know. Sounders, FC Fields. Ben's got that tournament, right? He'd mentioned the tournament, but not the location. Maybe it was on the team website. Parents found that stuff all the time. Can I come? She asked, then quickly added, not to meet them officially. I could just watch from the car. I'd love to see Ben play. Not yet. Something crossed her face, disappointment, anger. It passed too quickly to read. Of course. Your timeline, your rules. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. I'll just stay here, clean up breakfast. You don't have to. I want to. Let me take care of you a little, Marcus. You're so used to doing everything alone. At the fields, Sarah pulled him aside during warm-ups. Is everything okay? She asked. You look tired. I'm fine. The kids said you have a girlfriend. We're dating someone, yes. Good. That's good. You deserve to be happy. She paused. Mrs. Jameson said she saw someone at the house during the day when we were all gone, looking in windows. Mrs. Jameson thinks the mailman is casing the neighborhood. True. Sarah laughed, and for a moment it was like before, when they were partners against the world's small absurdities. Just be happy, Marcus. But be careful too. Driving home, Ben chattering about his saves, Lily reading in the back seat. Marcus felt the two parts of his life grinding against each other like misaligned gears. Serena had cleaned everything. The apartment looked better than it had since he'd moved in. She'd also rearranged some things, spices alphabetized, books shelved by height, photos of the kids moved to more prominent positions. Hope you don't mind, she said. I'm a bit compulsive about organization. In his bedroom, he found things that weren't his, a phone charger, a toothbrush, a sweater hanging in his closet. When did you bring these? Various times. Is it okay? I figured after 6 weeks. 6 weeks. Had it been that long? Time felt elastic since the divorce, stretching and compressing unpredictably. I should probably give you a key, he heard himself say. Really? Her face lit up. Only if you're ready. He cut one that afternoon, watched her add it to her keychain next to several others, and a University of Washington keychain he didn't recognize. Go Huskies, she said, catching him looking. I almost went there for grad school. In what? Design. Ended up at Parsons instead. She'd never mentioned Parsons. Or grad school. But people's histories came out in pieces, didn't they? Sarah had been married 3 years before mentioning she'd been engaged before. The Sunday email from Lily's teacher was marked urgent. Mr. Marcus, a woman identifying herself as a family friend, contacted me about Lily's constellation project. She knew extensive details about your family situation and asked about Lily's emotional adjustment. While she seemed well-intentioned, I wanted to verify this was authorized. Please call me? Marcus called immediately. She said she was helping with transition support, Mrs. Patterson explained. Knew about the divorce timeline, custody arrangement, even mentioned Lily's recent reading assessment scores. But something felt off. What did she want to know? How Lily was processing the divorce, whether she'd shown behavioral changes, who her friends were. Very specific questions for a family friend. We didn't authorize anyone. I thought as much. I didn't share anything, but you might want to check with the office. She may have contacted others. Marcus hung up, his stomach churning. Serena was at her apartment or the apartment, wherever it actually was. He called her. Someone contacted Lily's teacher, asked about her emotional state, her friends, the divorce. That's concerning, Serena said immediately. Do they know who? A woman? Family friend? Could be Sarah's side. Maybe a relative tried to help. Maybe. Want me to come over? You sound upset. No, I need to talk to Sarah. Of course. Let me know if you need anything. She sounded genuinely worried. Supportive. Normal. But that night, going through his laptop, Marcus found browser searches he didn't remember making: Green Lake Elementary Staff Directory, youth soccer goalkeeper training videos, childhood divorce trauma signs, Washington state custody laws, how to bond with stepchildren. His search history had timestamps when he'd been with clients, at the movies with the kids, asleep. Someone had been using his computer. Someone with a key. Someone who was always cold, who knew things she shouldn't know, who appeared 3 weeks after his world collapsed. His phone buzzed. Serena Hope. Everything's okay with Lily's teacher. Some people have no boundaries, right? Then another. Your kids are lucky to have you protecting them. And finally, sweet dreams, Marcus. He hadn't said it back yet. Couldn't. The words felt like a door that, once opened, couldn't be closed again. Outside, a silver Prius idled at the corner, exhaust visible in the cool night air. It had been there when he'd taken out the trash an hour ago. It was still there at midnight when he checked again. At 2 a.m., it was gone. But at 6 a.m., when he went for a run, he saw it again parked outside Victrola, engine running, keeping warm.